Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest today, Antonio de Sousa. Antonio is an author and self-belief and self-joy facilitator. Antonio, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Hi there, Mark. Hello, everyone.
I'm looking forward to a conversation with you, Antonio. Before I get started, I just need to make a legal disclaimer. Antonio is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Yes. Antonio, can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yeah, so thank you for the introduction. So I'm a self-belief and self-joy facilitator. Basically, I gave myself a fancy title. I'm a coach. I'm also an author, and I'm an author, and I own a company called Uvolve in the personal development community.
Interesting. And what is the title of your book called, Antonio?
The title is called The Lockdown on Self-Love.
Lovely. We'll go into more detail shortly. Who are your customers? Who are your clients?
My clients. My customers are mainly individuals really, that feel like there's more to life, but they just don't know how to break free. They feel like they haven't got any emotional and mental support. Perhaps they don't know their way around, don't know their own self-worth. And my job is pretty much basically to inspire them and reach their full potential.
Well, a lot of people do struggle when it comes to self-belief and self-worth and self-love. So it's really important work that you are doing. Tell us the ha-ha moment that led to the launch of your business, Antonio.
Cool. That's a really good question, Mark. Where do I start? Well, look, in 2020, with everything that happened around the world, with the lockdown and what have you, I was literally granted and given a gift, really. I know it was really hard for most of us. It certainly was hard for me. But previous to the lockdown, it was really hard either way. I had just previously gone through a really bad breakup. A child was involved, and unfortunately, when some relationships they break, when they fall apart and children are involved, excuse me, sometimes it's just a little bit of resistance, and the mothers obviously, take care of the children. And in a way, it kind of feels like the children have also been ripped away from the father's life. I hadn't consented to the breakup as well, so that didn't come easy for the lady. And I was really reactive and whatnot. I was going through a lot of devastation, a lot of heartbreak, and as a result as well, I was just having a lot of conflict with everyone else as well, with family. It just felt like no one gave me any time of the day, really. No one was able to acknowledge how I felt, acknowledge my thoughts, what was going through my head. And it sure as hell was tough. I've always kind of had a habit of being my own worst enemy. And with that, what I mean to say is giving myself a hard time with thoughts like, for example, I was seeing my ex-partners moving on, and my child as well being around another guy more than I could wish, And, I think because as well, my habits was toxic. My state of mind was toxic. I'm happy to acknowledge at the time. I kind of pushed everyone away. I pushed the mother of my child away. There was an element of her having to keep herself safe, keeping my child as well safe away from me, because I was just, like I said, very reactive. With that came anger, frustration, not healthy to be around, really. So as a result, I didn't get to see my child for a while. So that's what I mean to say, like, I was under conflict with everybody else, because no one was able to really hold space for me and offer me a level of safety where I was able to express myself and have a level of basically like, I see you, I feel you, yeah, I hear you. Can't be easy, but instead it was like, just how much I should change, how proof that I wasn't good enough, and how I was just a F up, really. And so so with that, what I mean to say with 2020 being a gift for me, this came along and it basically just offered me the opportunity to pause, to just literally pause from all my responsibilities, all my obligations. And I felt inspired to have a heart to heart with myself. Look, like I said, I didn't have mental and emotional support. Anyone I went up to have a conversation about my life with what was going on, it's just turned into chaos, arguments. And that wasn't easy. It was just further shame, further guilt. So, I was offered the opportunity to pause, reflect. And with that, I ended up journaling. And I felt inspired to reverse engineer my life. Basically, I wanted to figure out why I was a certain way. Why was my life a certain way? Why was I feeling these overwhelming feelings? What could I do about it? Why was I thinking a certain way? Is there any way I could change that? And basically, that created my book, Evolve. My book, The Lockdown on Self-Love. And that is what set the foundations for Evolve. That was my big aha moment. I just felt really inspired. And as a result, from wanting to help myself, just what naturally grew from that was wanting to help other people.
That's a great story, Antonio, and thank you for sharing all your vulnerability there. And it shows that all of your own hardship is what really has encouraged you to then go on to serve others, which is truly amazing, because you're walking the walk and talking the talk. You have been there yourself and now you're supporting others. What really motivates you to jump out of bed every single day?
Oh, you ready for this one?
Yes.
Really interesting, really. It's been a while, really. I mean, I always set my alarm on, but I rarely have to wake up to it, which is really interesting, really fascinating. And I think the reasons being is because I basically, first thing when I wake up, I kiss my own hand and I'll go, mwah, and I say, hello, beautiful, have the best day ever, you absolute legend. And with that, I'm reminded that I owe it to myself to build a legacy, that I've got a big job to do, and that loads of people are relying on me. And that's what really wakes me up. That's what really gets me going in first thing in the morning.
I love that you're giving yourself self-love first thing on the morning. What sets your business apart, and what unique need are you filling for your customers? Well,
I guess you said that a minute ago. I've really, really walked the walk. I've been to prison. I've been a massive F up at school. I went to college. I aspired to be a graphic designer, and I messed that up. I've had substance abuse. I've even been on steroids. I've only ever been in 2 serious long-term relationships, and I've got a child by each. I've really had my heart ripped apart. I've had my CV is probably like a Bible. I've had so many jobs. I've even worked at a sausage factory. And once upon a time, I thought the only thing I'd be able to do is be a window cleaner. I'm now formally a plasterer. I'm in a construction trade. So I'm very much a blokey bloke, you know, and I've also explored taboo and what have you. I've had problems with sex addiction. I've had problems with internal turmoil, conflict with everybody, arguing. I've been suicidal. I've been lost. I've also very much I've got a passion for metaphysics. I've had what you call a spiritual awakening. So I'm very broad. I'm very knowledgeable. I've really lived through it all, and that gives me a great opportunity. It gives me great humility and understanding.
Why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
Where do I start? Look, we're fed with lies. Day in, day out. You know, a lot of us are just distracted with TV and with our phones, wasting time. We don't know the truth from wrong, you know. We are literally getting brainwashed. And that's why my services is so important, because I'm very transparent, and I allow myself to be vulnerable for a reason, to, you know, just literally promote that transparency and vulnerability is a superpower, you know. It allows ourselves to be our authentic self. And having been in denial for a long time, having been just ignorant, basically, and not giving myself the opportunity just because I wasn't aware, you know. I mean, what gives me great pleasure as well is that, you know, I literally, previous to this journey, I thought personal development was, I don't know, something like some silver spoon-fed so-and-so was going around like saying, you know, look at me, look how great I am. You know, if you do this and do that, just be just like me, you know. And my attitude was like, pretty much, God, piss off. Like, you don't know anything about my life. Like, you know, and that's what gives me great pleasure, because personal development just literally changed my life. It's changed my life, and I would have never in a million years ever thought I'd be taking this direction in my life. I'm a true testament to all of this.
I agree with you totally. Personal development changed my life, and it's an ongoing journey. I still do lots of work on myself, and I agree with what you said about not watching too much TV. The mind is so powerful. You have to really think about the thoughts that you're putting into your mind, and everything that you're consuming in the mind can become a reality as well. So I think what you're doing is really great work, that you have been through all the hardships, but now you are supporting others to do that as well. Where can everyone find your book, Antonio, and have you got a website?
Yeah, my book, The Lockdown on Self-Love, is available on all platforms across Amazon. That means it's available using your service provider in the UK. It's available in the USA. It's also available in Canada, so on and so forth. And yeah, you can also personally find me on my website, which is www.u/VOLVE.co.uk. So that's www.uvolve.co.uk. And there you can reach out and yeah, read more about me, really.
Just say your website address once more for us all.
So that's www.u, and that's U, capital U, character, not U-Y-O-U. I'll say it again. www.u/VOLVE.co.uk.
Perfect. Now, I know you have all sorts of client success stories. What is one that really stands out to you?
Well, that's a really good question, Mark. which one to think of? I suppose this one comes to mind, and it's one of those as well where I almost cried, to be honest with you, as well, as were they. And for a few days, I was really feeling into it. And I was, when I almost broke down, really, it was one of those just emotional. It was just joy, I started to be I was just so grateful for this journey that I'm on. Really, really grateful. I started to call my work cute. I would have never thought I'd be saying that my work was cute. And I was just really, really proud. And the reasons being as well why I was proud is because I've got children, and I'm just really grateful as well that I am on this journey, and that I can also teach them, what I share with my clients. And the importance of this moment with my clients was, I started to share with what I shared with everyone and yourself here, about kissing my hand first thing in the morning and saying, hello, beautiful, have the best day ever. And I was just literally sharing with the lady because she was having problems of accepting herself. She had very little self-love, no self-worth. No understanding about it really, and just completely lost, miserable, taking antidepressants, just get by. And now and again, just drinking excessively as well, and just completely miserable, And when I shared with her about kissing, my hand, and that she ought to do the same, she had a breakdown, and she started crying really, joy. Thankfulness, I shared it with her because I shared this with her, which she never really realized. I said, the most important relationship there will ever be and is the one with yourself. And without what I shared, what I carried on to share was like, we go about in life like seeking approval, seeking appreciation and validation from everyone else. Like please love me, we go about like. If we're single, for example, like wanting to seek out a partner that will love us, and seek out a partner that will take care of us, seek out a partner that will listen to us and respect us and what have you. And that's when I shared with her, I said, like, have you ever considered doing that with yourself, Because it's really interesting, like you go about like needing all of that from other people, but if you're unable to do that with yourself, like, for example, if you were to say to your partner, like, next week, can you do this? And could you do that? Or could you please help me out with this? How would you feel? How would you literally feel if they let you down? And that happened over and over again. Like, all hell will break loose, right, Mark? And, and so, it's really interesting that we don't have that awareness about our own selves and how we're treating our own selves. And it's, if it's no wonder that all hell would break loose with your partner, let's say, then how about the most important relationship that I found out to be, which is true, that is the one with your own self, It's no wonder that all hell ends up breaking loose when you're not, when you're constantly letting yourself down, basically. Yeah. So basically, when I shared this all with her, she was like, wow, it was a huge epiphany for her. It was a huge realization. And it was a beautiful, beautiful unfoldment, a beautiful experience of what turned out to be that it dramatically improved her life.
That's a beautiful story, Antonio, and it just goes to show how that bit of self-love can really transform someone's life. How do clients typically hear about you, and are there certain life moments that usually lead to them seeking you out?
Yeah, I generally do a lot of lives on Facebook, and it's been really interesting as well because ever since publishing the book, I've only been an author now for a couple of months. And I've had certain readers that obviously recommended to others. And, I guess what's the right way to say this? I guess rumors going around about me, really. And Yeah, usually it's people that are usually it's somebody that's been inspired by the messages that I've shared, for the level of vulnerability I present, and the level of transparency, especially through my book. There's so much that's relatable there. It's literally something for someone, and this every little breakthrough that I've shared there is just literally what articulated from the lockdown of self-love is a conscious frame of work. And usually it's also other people that are dealing with substance abuse as well, basically self-destructive behaviours. Yeah.
Very, very important. And the people you supporting really need that support, Antonio. You need to be very proud of the work you're doing. Is there anything we did not cover that you would like to share?
Yeah, look, I guess one of the reasons why I'm so proud about all of this is typically with men, they don't feel. It's just been ingrained into us men to not express ourselves, to not share our feelings, And we're human. We're no different to the ladies. We need to express ourselves, It eats us, it rots us up inside, This disease is basically dis-ease of the mind, And it's no wonder why my life really, really spiraled out of control. And it's not just important to express yourself, but it's also important to find people that you can speak to. It's important that you can find people that you can feel comfortable to open up. It's really important to open up. It's really important to express yourself. And that's very much the reason why I built all of this. To be honest with you, I never really wanted to write the book. I didn't want to publish. I was terrified. I was really, really, really scared. Allowing myself to be so vulnerable and so transparent it's been really, really scary. I literally talk about subjects that most wouldn't dream of. Because it comes back to this. I don't want to place attention onto myself. I don't want anyone to know about that. But here's the interesting fact. Like, you are who you are. And you know everything you've done. You know the experiences that you've had, and what have you. And, you take yourself to bed and you wake up in the morning and nothing changes. Those memories and everything don't go away. And usually that's why we substitute and go about quick instant gratification or what have you, quick relief and what have you. And so this is very much why I was able and did decide to publish, and from that build Uvolve, because basically this core is I wanted to be simple, and I wanted to be that guy that other people could, through my example, feel comfortable to confide in. So yeah, just anybody that's literally as well feeling like they haven't got anyone to speak to, and don't know what to do, how to go and move forward, and what have you. Yeah, just feel free to reach out. And look, I just want to share this as well, which was a huge epiphany for me. They say there's two important dates in our life, and I guess I'll ask you, Mark. Well, what do you think are the two most important dates in your life?
Birthday. You'll have to help me out.
I kind of struggled with that. And if I'm honest with you, when this was presented to me, I had to look up on Google. But it's when I found the answer, there was a huge breakthrough. And from that, a lot unfolded. And the answer so yeah, you're correct. The two most important dates is the day you were born and the day you find out why you were born. And that's
like that.
Yeah, and that's what I want to leave this show, and give you food for thought. Marinate on that, and come to find out, come to start to breathe into why you were born, and that sure isn't to consume or what have you. I firmly believe And this is, again, part of the reason why I do what I do, because I came to realize that we're here to add value. We're here to offer change and offer quality for not just our children, but our children's children. So with that, with that answer is to how can you leave a legacy behind? What do you want to be remembered for?
It's really important work what you're doing, and you really can be saving so many people's lives, Antonio. Thank you so much for being my guest on Brilliance Business.
My absolute pleasure, Mark. Thank you. And thank you for everybody as well that's been here and listen to us both.
Thank you so much. The pleasure's been all ours. You have been listening to the Brilliance Business Show, conversations with leading experts in business.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.